Chris Williamson and Alex Hormozi had a great conversation on the idea of hard, which I think can be directly associated with self-doubt. Alex Hormozi said, I think a lot of entrepreneurship and even personal growth is training yourself on how you respond to hard. Because in the early days, hard was, ooh, stop. This isn't good. This is a warning sign. This is a red flag. I should slow down or I should stop. I should pivot. But the more I think about it as a competitive landscape, I'm clear on what this path is supposed to look like. And these rocks and these dragons are things that I'm going to have to slay along the way to get the princess or get the treasure. And I get happier about the harder it is because I know that no one else will follow. Chris Williamson described it as a selection effect. Self-doubt depends on the situation and your framing of it. Presumably, as you go through life, you should learn how to better handle self-doubt and differentiate healthy versus destructive doubt. A life of hardship and challenges will certainly force you to learn quickly, and learning to really understand what that self-doubt is, where it's coming from, recognizing whether or not it's a warning, whether or not it's a signal that you're doing something right, or simply being able to take the feedback of, I'm a little bit worried about the way that video might look. I'm a little bit worried that I'm kind of regurgitating content in this blog post. Maybe that's a sign that you should be worried about those things, and you have the foresight to recognize that there are some issues. So utilize self-doubt sometimes. It's not always a bad thing. So to tie all of this together, like I said, we're going to end it on mental strength. And all of the stuff that we've discussed, discipline, overcoming self-doubt, it all requires mental strength. So what's the best way to develop mental strength when you live in a comfortable environment? And it's crazy because all of this stuff is connected like a web. It all links to one another. Controlled challenges, the undertaking of this sort of voluntary suffering, voluntary hardship, things like cold showers, running, working out, reading, journaling, and meditation, they aren't groundbreaking. They're not even that difficult, if we're going to be honest. It's the consistency that is difficult, but that's the part that develops mental strength, which develops discipline, which helps you overcome self-doubt. So, with this voluntary suffering, to tie it back to an earlier point, it's the need for consistency. That one time you took a cold shower when you were motivated doesn't actually matter. As we said, going to the gym after watching Rocky, doing all this stuff when you're all fired up, it means so much less than when you're on the 50th time doing it. You've been doing it for 2 years. Once that motivation is gone, once that fiery inspiration begins to fall off, what matters is honing the mental strength and discipline to grow, to commit to doing these things. And mental strength is necessary to take on the unavoidable difficulties in life. Building mental strength helps to regulate your emotions, respond instead of react. These culminate in a position where you have greater control of yourself. Life is chaotic, and sometimes it can be downright scary. So, look for the calm within the chaos. Mental strength, discipline, all of these things, they help you to have better control, better self-control, and that's going to give you more control in all aspects of your life. You're no longer going to be at the mercy of your emotions. You're no longer going to be at the mercy of reacting. So focus on really overcoming, let me think of kind of the correct word here. I guess overcoming yourself is the only way that I could put it. Overcome yourself. Overcome that part of you that doesn't want to do these things, that would rather be lazy and be distracted, and cultivate that discipline, cultivate that mental strength, and that will help you overcome self-doubt. That will help you silence that inner critic in the long run. And hopefully for the people that have a very loud inner critic or suffer from continually degrading themselves, cultivating some discipline and some mental strength will kind of quiet that chatter